Hey, what's up? This is Jedi Steve and Jerome. About 5 years ago, I was working with some clients in team building, and I came into copper. I had one lady that was having trouble with seizures, and I wasn't trying to heal her seizures. I was trying to ground her to potentially keep her from having it. She's still taking her medication, doing everything that mainstream medicine had provided for her. But what I was trying to do, a lot of times, stress causes all this, a lot of the different diseases. It's like the opening for a lot of things that people are going through. It's the stress. So if you, I was gonna say manage the stress, but I don't even like that term, manage the stress. That sounds stressful. But to but to be able to reduce the stress or only have the stress, because I tell students that they wake up that you have to have a certain level of stress to wake up 8 in the morning to get your 8 o'clock class. I don't, but also I would do an 8 o'clock class. I mean, but I wake up in time for an 8 o'clock class every day, but I don't set an alarm. But I wake up at this stage of the game called to do it. So copper was always like a part. I mean, I have it in around me. I have it in different things. It was always something that was very important. And then Jerome, a short time ago, came up with this, and I want him to tell me about it and tell you about it.
Steve calls it the Regenerator, which is perfect. I guess that's a good enough name for it. But it's a battery and magnet, and I put copper wire around the magnet. The battery just sticks to it. Now you know there's therapeutic uses for magnets. You can buy magnetic bracelets, magnetic jackets for your dog if they're going through pain, and it minimizes pain. So research is well documented on the power of magnets. Just the power of magnets for healing the body. But what I didn't know was that if you take a magnet and you put a battery on it, now the magnetic field becomes electromagnetic. It doesn't even have to be a closed circuit. It is just the battery, because the battery by itself, if you had a device, it has a field. It has a electro field on its own,
So if you put it in a radio, it has one, but if it's sitting right there, it doesn't have a magnetic field.
It has its own, it has its own electromagnetic field as well.
Like right now it does.
Right now,
okay.
just by itself, there's electricity potential in there, positive and negative. It already has it in there. It's a field. So you put this in the field of the magnet. Now the field is amplified to about a foot and a half, and it becomes electromagnetic. Now this electromagnetic field is therapeutic.
How so?
To the body. It helps the body reduce pain, clears some brain fog. That's what I noticed. So I should tell you, the person that taught me this, he used to build pulse electromagnetic frequency machines. And there are machines that generate the field that this has and impulses it to certain frequencies to have a specific effect on the body, different parts of the body, different ailments, different aspects of things that we're trying to manifest or create, stress levels, anxiety. So he used to build it. And so he told me this right here resonates in a positive way with our own electromagnetic field, the body's own electromagnetic field. Because just as I said, this battery has a field on it and the magnet has a magnetic field, our bodies have an electromagnetic field. Our bodies are electric. Just like if you see the earth has its own electromagnetic field around it.
And it's interesting because one of the things that you're alluding to and I missed out on is a lot of diseases and stress are caused by inflammation. And copper's been good for a while to help out with inflammation. Are magnets also good for that?
Yep, yeah, that's well documented. I want to go back to, because it's going to explain that a little bit. Earth elements are usually grounding. And what do we mean by grounding? Now, I only just know this because I watched a documentary on grounding. So I want to share that part.
Yeah.
And it's just that when there's an overly positive charge in your machine, in your appliance, like say a lightning strikes your house, so that your appliances, your television, your toaster, your computer, they don't blow out and get destroyed. There's a grounding, a copper grounding rod that goes down into the earth about 6 feet, 5 to 6 feet. In every building, to pass a code in the United States, in order to pass code, it has to be grounded. So relative to the body, you mentioned inflammation. Whenever there's inflammation, there's an overly positive charge. And so if there's an overly positive charge, or when a person is stressed, that's an overly positive charge situation in the nervous system. If you were to ground, to put yourself on the earth, walk barefoot, the negative electrons from the earth, or the overly positive electrons in the body, only overly positive charge will get discharged into the earth. That's the grounding. And your body absorbs electrons. So how this is therapeutic in the body is you are, like copper, is adding more electrons. Now, I want to say originally, instead of using a battery, the gentleman that taught me this about the battery and the magnet, how he discovered it was that and it was just by intuition, it just came to him. He had a giant magnet though, even stronger than this. This is 95 pounds of pull power. You got one, Steve is sitting behind one that has 250 pounds of pull power in it. You can leave it there, you can leave it though.
I want to show the audience.
So, but what he did was, he took, knowing that the power of grounding, he was already doing that, putting his feet on the earth. So he took a rod, though, like the one that's in your house, that grounds your house. He stuck this into the ground, about 3-4 feet. And then he wrapped it around a magnet. Now, instead of using a battery, like I said before, now it's connected to the earth. The earth is a battery. Earth has a positive electrical pole, positive electrical charge, positive negative electrical charge, charged by the lightning that strikes the ground. So you take this now, it's linked to the earth. Now this is the original way to use it. And you can just put this on the body, sit on it, sit near it, and this has a charge. That's how I was using it first. Outside my window, I put one of these sticks in the ground, this copper rod in the ground, with the copper wire right here, and had to go through the window, and this is next to my bed, and so then when I sleep at night, I just sleep on this. So I'm grounding all night. With the magnet, so the magnet pulls more electrons. So you get in a double effect, not only just the grounding of being on the earth, but then the magnet with the magnetic field is therapeutic and pulling more electrons into the body. So if you're not plugged into the earth, it's a giant battery with this electromagnetic field. You can put a battery there. And so now this magnet has electromagnetic field. And that balances our own electromagnetic field within our body. And the only reason why I know that it's balanced, I say that it balances our own electromagnetic frequency, is because it reduces the pain. So my experiment, the first time I did this, I had a battery and a magnet. I didn't even have copper wire on it. Without the copper wire, just the magnet and the battery, we were just sitting on the couch. Me and my girlfriend each had one. I got us both one. We just sat on the couch and was talking. We're sore usually from working out. She had some aches and pains. I had little minor injuries. We're always working on that. 20 minutes when we got up, no stiffness in the body. Soreness was not even there. The acute pain had diminished. The first time we used it, and we just started cracking up laughing like, this is crazy. What? This is too simple. Just from a battery and a magnet. And so that's how I got started in it, and that's how it was taught to me. And of course, he did say, you know, copper has its own frequency. It has its own electrons. That's the number that you see on the periodic table in the corner, and it tells you how many electrons it has and stuff like that. Copper has its own electrons. When you put copper in the field, now the copper can lend you its electrons along with the battery and magnet.
One of the things that was really interesting after I'd used it for a while is the fact that these batteries never run out of juice, and that kind of led to the working title of the Regenerator, because it's regenerating energy.
Right.
Where the Matrix, the system, I don't think they force us to do a lot of things that suck energy out. I don't think they force us to eat bad food, but they make it really hard for us to find the good stuff.
Right.
And they make lots of judgment when you try to move towards things that are better and better for you.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. You know, they call it weird. You know, strange. It's, yeah.
Courtney, my friend, and I, she's come to the meditations a couple of times. We started spelling. We call the cool weird the weird with an R. So we're spelling weird with an R instead of a W.
That is weird.
Yeah. So going back to Courtney, said that I gave her one of these, and she said she felt happy and more productive. Like right after I had given to her. She's a college student, and she just felt happy and more productive by just having that grounded and balance. And there are certain things that I guess I accepted that I didn't even know, I didn't even know I had pain, that this thing helped with my pain.
Okay. Yeah. There's something to it. That's what my girlfriend said.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there is something to it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at it from the fact of stress and inflammation, then it makes that, I mean, it's been proven from that standpoint, and that we're electrical beings and this is grounding our energy, it makes sense. But it's so much better to just experience it.
You have to, because just that model doesn't explain other benefits. Like, when I'm using it, if you're a healer or a body worker, you're projecting chi, you're moving the chi around, trying to affect somebody else's energy to reduce their pain or stress. This will boost your vibrational, how much chi you're putting out. Like when I'm holding it and then I'm sending the chi out the palms of my hands, people can feel it more versus not having it. So that's why when I do my meditations and I'm online, I'll bring my tower. Yeah. Whoopsie. So I'll bring my tower, and these are stacks of batteries and magnets. So the field now is generating is at least 10 feet, 7 to 10 feet. And so, and then it has
7 to 10 inches? Or you're just talking? You're talking about the field.
The field.
Oh, okay, got it. I thought you were talking about this
whole room.
Got it.
Right now, this whole room. Yeah, and so. Yeah,
and an example.
So the other bit. So it doesn't speak to just that model. Doesn't speak to all the benefits, like not only moving the chi, but when I'm tuning in and trying to feel out what the root cause of a person is on a psychic level, when I'm doing psychic readings, the images are clearer and they come faster. I don't know how that, you can't explain that through that model, but I'm saying that's also another benefit. When I'm speaking, I notice if I have this on me, just there's more clarity, and I don't know, the words come to me of what to say, what I need to say, easier and faster.
One of the things that also led me to a copper is I was dealing with a client who had Asperger's, like autism, like the more Bill Gates type autism, and I noticed like a lot of people in the Silicon Valley and tech type people have that. Is there anything that you might know? I felt that it grounded him to help him out. Is there anything that you might know about that from a spiritual level or a scientific level that this would help with that?
I can't say.
Yeah.
And I haven't dealt with anybody with Asperger's, but I know that whatever it makes the mind clear, and especially my creativity is sharper. Creativity is sharper. My the intuition is stronger, and that's huge.
So if it didn't necessarily make Courtney happy, it made her productive, and that made her happy.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But on that too, there is just a felt sense that shifts a well-being. Like when you just touch it, and I just ask you, what do you feel? What do you notice? I feel pockets of places that were tight I weren't aware of now also just open and expand and clear. Like right now as I'm tuning into it now, really more focused, I can feel my head, pockets in my head just open up. And so there's another use that I've used. So that means this tower, or using a battery and magnet, amplifies not only chill. I guess I'm just saying the same thing, but it amplifies the power of your thought, the energy of your thoughts as things out in the world. And so, kind of like just if I was just to think of somebody, then they can feel my presence more. I've done that quite often, doing my energy healing work and stuff online.
So if you're like, we're spirits having a human experience. The earth is very dense. If you're able to have your spiritual thought more dense, it's able to conduct to go out to more people.
I don't know.
But I mean that sounds like a good theory. I mean, it works for me enough. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think it's based in science. I might have just said a bunch of words.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, so.
Oh, I just want to mention this thing. This is kind of neat. When I first met, I was in. So you see, there's a pyramid. It's a quartz pyramid, and each one of these levels has a gemstone in there or a crystal relative to the 7 chakras. 7 chakras in the body. So at the bottom, there's obsidian and red jasper. The second chakra, or the second level, is tiger's eye for the navel. The solar plexus. Oops. So there's a solar plexus for the citrine for the solar plexus. The heart chakra. Oop, I have them on the wrong spot. Put that up in here. Yeah.
I was wondering why I felt a little off.
Yeah, so they have the heart chakra, rose quartz and pyramid there. There's a solidite for the throat chakra, lapis lazuli for the third eye, and there's amethyst for the crown, and for all the chakras, you can use quartz.
It was interesting. I had this for a week before Jerome had mentioned that putting the crystals with it, and he had taken somebody that was in his class, and he took one of these and started at the bottom chakra and put a stone for each one at a time, and the person could feel it going all the way up her chakras.
Yeah.
And from that standpoint, and I thought that was very incredible.
Yeah, you can. This is palpable. Like you were mentioning before about the copper in your car. I had a booth at a wellness expo at a fitness center. And the fitness center is an active fitness center, people walking back and forth, clanking of the weights, you know, and they got music blasting, you know, just it's a lot of energy in there, conflicting energy. So I had them. I brought a tower. I think about like 2 of these high, like something like this, with gemstones in there for all the chakras, and I would just have them hold it in the midst of all of that commotion and people walking by. They can feel it, like it was really palpable. Everything from just a buzz in their hands to one lady got nauseous, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had before I had this, actually in my last car, I had a lady get into my car, and she said it twice, but the first time she goes, my father had died a month ago, and I tried everything to find peace. There's something up with you in this car, because I immediately found peace when I sat in the car. Wow. And I had some crystals, maybe a little copper, some positive messages in the car, but for her to just be able to find peace like that was very amazing. And I see at this point there'd be a much higher probability of that happening with the magnets and the extra batteries.
Yeah, I think it just amplifies a field of well-being that is our natural, as a natural.
So does it also amplify negative energy?
It may. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can try it.
Yeah, for sure. But we don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Yeah, we don't want to do
Let's
that.
see if that worked.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I don't want to try that. But definitely it's taking the application of chi and energy to another level, and mainly around health and well-being, because I'm directing this energy towards for healing and stuff.
Nice. So we're gonna go to another video, and we're gonna have Jerome give us some more examples of what possibilities are with this.